I would like to introduce you to USMLE World Step 1 qbank. The way you subscribe to this qbank is by going on the website usmleworld.com. It's going to be here on the website. When you log in, you're going to see this home page. You can see the home, Step 1, Step 2, Step 2 CK, Step 3. This is an excellent qbank for anybody that's serious about taking the USMLE or the COMLEX. It's an extremely important program that allows you to have easy access to question banks that are similar to what you're going to see on the real exam. Most students, medical students across the United States, even in Canada, also like international students from other countries have to basically subscribe to this subscription because it really helps you prepare very well. It gives you like good clinical vignettes which allow you to do very well on this test. The way you subscribe is by clicking on Step 1. You can scroll down and on the left you can see about the Step 1 exam, the qbank, self-assessment exam, subject reviews. Typically they give you the content, anatomy, behavioral sciences, biochemistry, microbiology, pathology, pharm, and physiology. They also organize it by systems, which I'm going to show you in a minute when I log in. So typically you can just scroll down and you sign up now. Click on sign up now and click on Step 1. Now they have different options. They have a Step 1 30 days self-assessment. If you're gonna take the exam in about 30 days, this is a good choice you might want to do. You just buy it's $130. The self-assessment, let me talk a little about that. The self-assessment is a tool exam that simulates, that's not part of the qbank. You actually have to activate it 2 weeks before you take the test. So do not activate this qbank before you're actually ready to take it. The point of it is after you've done this 2,000 question banks, 2 weeks before your test, you take the first one, you activate it, and you can only activate it once. If you activate it prior, before, you have to contact USMLE World by email, and they will have to basically shut it down for you so you can have access to it before your exam. I highly recommend buying the 360 days if you wish to prepare a year in advance. If you want to spend 6 months, it's much better to go for the 180 days. You also have other options of buying a qbank for 30-day membership and 360-day membership without the assessment test. And they just recently added this biostatistic subject review 90-day membership. It's $25. It's worth buying. Take a look at it. So after you've subscribed, you'll be able to go online and sign in, log in. You put in your username and password. And you click on login. This is usually what you're gonna see. You see active subscriptions. That's a Step 1 qbank course material. Right here, you can see the expiry date is gonna expire on the 6th, and you click on launch. The next page is gonna show you if you're a Windows user, you can click here. This is a Mac, so I have to choose this. So it tells me to click here to launch the qbank software. So I'm gonna click here and I'll launch it. While we're waiting, usually takes a while because you have to allow it to load. I'll save if you're using a Mac on the desktop. And here's the login. You click on login. It's retrieving the peripheral information, so it takes a little time to connect to the internet, and here it is. So this is usually the format and the template for the USMLE World qbank software. It usually gives you an introduction to the qbank. This is your expiry date. If you have any suspended tests, it's right there. If you were taking a test, for example, and you decide to stop and you come back, it reminds you if the amount of tests you completed and the amount of unused questions. You have all these tabs: welcome, create a test, previous test, cumulative performance, utilities, and your help. So you click on create a test. So a student that started second year medical school and you're starting with clinical medicine, this is a perfect start for you to begin, because like I said in my book, you start small. So you start by doing 10 questions a night, which works out to be, it takes you about, give or take, 10 to 15 minutes to complete the questions, but it takes a good amount of I would say 40 to 45 minutes to go over the questions. But this is a test mode. You have timed options, untimed options, and a tutor mode. You have different divisions, so you can see anatomy, behavioral sciences, biochemistry, biostats, embryology, genetic histo, and the list goes on. What I normally do is I'll click on timed if I don't want it to be timed. If I want it timed, I'll time the test. Then I'll select a specific division. Usually I select all, depending on how comfortable I am with the material. If I know my biochemistry, I leave it in. Then you have options here. As you can see, this is actually like the system-based: cardiology, blood vessels, GI, GUs, head and neck, hepatobiliary system, and the list goes on and on. So let's say you're in cardiology, for example. You select cardiology. It tells you there's about 229 questions just for cardiology alone, and subset of cardiology divisions are anatomy, behavioral science about cardiology, biochemistry, and you can see them on the left right here. As you can see, the qbank is about 2,078 questions. Usually I'll select unused because I've done all the qbank, is showing 0, but typically if you select all, you have an option and you can select the maximum amount of questions. So let's say you select 10. You click on generate the test and the test is going to load. Now you click on previous test and you can actually see a list of how well you've done on the test, and you can resume, you can review, you can have analysis. Now if you look at your cumulative performance over time, it actually tells you how well you've been doing on the test. And this is basically over a period of time. After doing it for a very long time, you see how well your percentile is. And also you can have utilities and help section if you actually need to read more information about how to navigate on the test. Due to confidentiality issues, I'm not going to generate a test because that'll be breaking the policy. But usually when you generate an exam, you'll be able to see sample questions, and extremely is very similar to what you will see when you buy the test. So this is a brief introduction to USMLE Step 1 qbank. I hope this is a very helpful video, and I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.